My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. This is UPS stalking, Omnitrans stalking, the people of the state, Student Transportation of America stalking. This is the people of the state that I documented in the neighborhoods today, and they're doing so under the fake sun. There's no, UPS is not landing here. I showed you Safeco Auto, gang stalking on Holt Boulevard, In the video, you see the Ontario International Airport stalking in that video with the gang members of the Ontario Police. This is psychotic while they're using planes to stalk me, and they're landing down where behind here is Holt Boulevard. The entity is maintaining plane activity one after another after I've published the identity people of the state who are being prosecuted as I walk through the neighborhood and document their addresses, their license plates, which is exactly what you are entitled to do when the entire neighborhood, when the city is gang stalking, and they will be federally prosecuted. It's not necessary because the entity is being prosecuted, but I am exposing and identifying the federal, the gang stalkers that are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, and it includes UPS. All right, UPS is targeting stalking in the path with all manner of light activity. Sun. This is the fake sun. It's 8 a.m. The fake sun is still here 2 hours. We're right here. Ontario police are flying circles over my head. And 2 hours after that, after 12 p.m., the fake sun is still here over the Stater Brothers, where they're monitoring my vagina, trying to break into the bathroom while they're monitoring my device, just like UPS is. That's the Ontario International Airport. That's the same actor with regard to Alan D. Wapner, who's the mayor pro tem, with regard to the Ontario City Hall that has the fake sun over it at both 9:33 a.m. and when it's remaining over me at a distinctly different location, and also it's over me at that same City Hall at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The Ontario International Airport is gang stalking with the mayor pro tem, Alan D. Wapner, at that venue where that fake sun documentation equally applies. This is P.O.C. It's pursuant to federal stalking under Title 18. It's 8:09 a.m. This is American Airlines stalking, the company, and it's the state that's stalking. And they're landing down. By landing, I mean they are lowering an elevation over houses. I'm going to show you what's on the opposite side. I've already shown you from Safeco Auto. This is the P.O.C. They are on the same side that I am on. So they are on what would be the Holt Boulevard, which is what this street is, runs east and west. They're flying east on what is the north side of Holt Boulevard, if that makes sense. They're on the same side of the street that I'm on. When I'm on the opposite side, like when I documented this business over here, next to Seidner's, which is documenting Seidner's as well, but I was standing specifically at this gate. The Ontario International Airport were flying on that side of the street. The fake sun was over that building. The fake sun moves as I move. The gang stalking airport stalks where I'm located. That's literally the definition of stalking, following from place to place. But I'm going to show you they're on this side of the street, and behind is nothing other than the broke down discount car dealerships, the housing community, and the airport is on the south side of Holt Boulevard. It's not even in alignment with Holt Boulevard, as I've documented the Ontario International Airport. This is P.O.C. This is where the entity is lowering. This is the car dealership. That's Safeco. I'm going to prosecute that terrorist that was engaged in criminal summoning with the Ontario Police Department. They're all gang members. And the entity is engaged in what is lowering. They're flying on this side over the subway while they're keeping in alignment with me. The International Airport is not only all the way down Holt Boulevard, it's not even on this side of the street. You're going east on Holt Boulevard, and then you are turning onto Vineyard, and then it's off of Airport Drive, Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. UPS, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, all of the airlines are going to be federally prosecuted. But this is what the entity is doing, and it's going to be captured in images and in video. And they're stalking with regard to the presence of the people of the state who are all stalking me, including on the roads and the highways. Everybody in these businesses, Subway is gang stalking, Metro T-Mobile, Erica's insurance company is stalking. The fake sun moves. It's no longer me at that at the smoke shop, Standard Barber, King's Ink tattoo shop area. It moves as I move. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. And just to show you, there's back here. They are psychotic. They're psychotic. This is Vine Avenue. That the next intersection over here is Vine Avenue. That's the church. The Demons of Vos Church. There is no airport. There's no landing. They're not landing on anything and then driving the plane. This is the entity that is blatantly stalking. Okay? This is not a loss by the government for being caught stalking. They're going to be committed for the criminal conduct that they continuously engaged in, not accomplishing their purpose, doing it before the world, and doing it. Alrighty, this is Eric Spencer. He is engaged in the pattern of conduct. He's doing so with the City of Ontario, the Ontario Police Department. You'll recall him gang stalking me at the Ontario Town Square, as I documented in the morning several months ago. I documented that audible activity on my podcast. This is a threat. Eric Spencer engaged in what is plotting my murder with Tracy Banks, engaging in what is disingenuous audible activity creation as though you don't know where I'm at, but yet you're in the specific environment, which is proof that you know exactly where I'm at. In fact, you're targeting. And the entities engaged in which is Eric Spencer is engaging in what is arriving at the town square, threatening my life because this is a threat, not when you're friendly and out offering a cupcake, but when you're in that environment monitoring with the government. They're stalking with planes and helicopters and invading my privacy in the same manner. And while I'm in operation of my device documenting sexual assault and battery, which is exactly how the entity stalking you in this environment is going to be executed in federal court, Eric Spencer, who is a gang stalker, is walking up. Eric Spencer, who I believe is domiciled in Oakland, California, in the same exact pattern of conduct with the Ontario International Airport, where it does not change because I know that third party's name. Okay. Bigger picture, Eric Spencer and Tracy Banks are gang stalking me on this same street at the ARCO and the, which is on the opposite side of this apartment building. That was at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. The fake sun, they're walking on the sidewalk. They're walking up like, again, you're going to just automatically be able to criminally defame the target individual. They have a big surprise coming. They're both going to prison. But this is what the entity that is malicious. They have a false sense of confidence because they're gang stalking with future felons like Mike Lorenz, who have incriminated them. And they're engaged in the pattern of conduct. The Ontario Police Department and Eric Spencer are under the same fake sun at the same address. It is currently 1:45 p.m. He knows exactly where I'm at, and he is admitting to what is knowledge about a YouTube channel that I've never spoken to him about. He has been subscribed to my YouTube channel while he is jumping back and forth with regard to what is his source of knowledge. And the reason why that's being addressed and I'm documenting on video is because he's stating he didn't know where I was at and he just walked around here. That's a lie. Okay, the entity's keeping the fake sun over me at Economy Inn from sunrise until sunset, where I'm subject to surveillance. They're stalking with impossible light while they're driving by, which has nothing to do with sunlight. 9JBT134 is engaging in surveillance in the same way that Eric Spencer is and Brightview is. And the OVITT Family Community Library, where this fake sun is not over that entrance. This is the P.O.C. The entities engaging in this light source. Remember, I'm here at 9 o'clock in the morning. The fake sun is still over me at the same exact Ontario Town Square. This is the P.O.C. I want to be clear. Eric Spencer is relevant to what is federal prison. It is axiomatic. When your fake friends and family have conspired your murder with the government, they are going to federal prison. It's an act of terrorism, and the government relies on the people of the state in the same way that they rely on what is the false sense of anonymity when none of them are strangers in that specific environment. That's also going to be dealt with under federal law. But those that are closest to you, they are the state. And they're engaging in that pattern of conduct with malice to take your life. And Eric Spencer is going to prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 1:46 p.m. This is P.O.C. I just want you to see how it is indistinguishable. Eric Spencer, the threat that he poses to my life, and a hillbilly sex offending demon engaging in what is drive-by gang stalking, sexual assault and battery, psychological torture, sexual violence with an unlawful touching. I wouldn't let that old dirty bastard touch me with his crusty hands, nor is he under the law going to touch with impossible light. The criminal purpose of federal stalking monitoring, and the people are by the millions, by the thousands, by the hundreds, scores and scores of them sharing in that sex offense together. While they are stalking, under the law, it will be recognized as what is an ongoing group sexual violation. While they are gang stalking you, they are touching you as a gang, stalking you as a gang, monitoring as you as a gang, psychologically torturing you as a gang, harassing as a gang, and so is Wells Fargo, who I'm going to prosecute. Wells Fargo is located at 240 North Euclid Avenue. Wells Fargo making money while all their customers are engaging in the same tag team sexual violence, getting in their cars, crossing paths under the fake sun that's still here like at 9 o'clock in the morning, where Eric Spencer is here gang stalking me. And this is a disingenuous gang stalking relative who is very well engaged in what is plotting my murder. His poor lying is juxtaposed with the gang stalkers of who are the people of the state. 49106, sexual assault and battery, and psychopaths that do so while they keep their back to you. And those psychopaths are also blood related to you. Lying to your face about not knowing where you are. You know exactly where I'm at, and that is gang stalking me in concert with the people of the state. This is P.O.C. I want to be clear. A vagina monitor is one that is in your family. It's of a spirit. It is the public entity. And Eric Spencer is one of those, and I will prosecute that sex offender no differently than any other predator under the law. This is P.O.C. It is currently 2:30 p.m. All right, real quick. Ontario police stalking, while Brink Security is the one that comes close. Brink Security's monitoring. They are also bearing weapons. We're Ontario police were gang stalking at 10:05 a.m. and this is what they're monitoring, the podcast that will be published. That agency did. Okay, C. Gerber's going to prison.
Gang stalkers just like this are going to prison as well. Everybody in Wells Fargo is gang stalking, and the employees are going to be federally prosecuted. They're engaged in federal stalking, and they do so with multiple police departments. It is documented. This is P.O.C. It's currently, while they're monitoring the podcast that is going to be published, it's 3:35 p.m. at the Square. That was over me at this same square at 9 o'clock in the morning. Union Pacific's being prosecuted. That's what you hear. This is by demons that cannot stop what is federal prison for Mike LORENZ, P.O.C. Alrighty, the case is already complete against the U.S. government, but this is just to show the level of mental illness, the level of desperation that is to advise the public. This is the Ontario Shopping Center, and this is the Bonita side. FedEx is engaged in what is light activity, and you're able to put that together in an investigation where it shows the fake sun is here. The fake sun is rising in alignment to the entrance of the Stater brothers, which again would be, generally speaking, over my head, aiming light underneath the structure where the vagina monitors in the morning are engaging what are pacing in and out of the entrance of that store under the fake sun. And it's over the same village center where FedEx is gang stalking me, tracking my steps, doing so while making money, just delivering packages, which they arrange around stalking me while making money. FedEx is a gang stalker, a terrorist, and a violent sex offender. And I've documented them molesting me also with Impossible Light, and FedEx is molesting me also now while the fake sun remains over me, and they are stalking. All right? The entity has engineer light moving all across. These are mentally ill. These are the demon possessed, okay? And it is where you're looking at this fake sun over the same Ontario Village Shopping Center, when I'm at the King's Tattoo, when I'm at the Stater Brothers, when I'm at the Coin Laundry. It's 7, 8 in the morning, and Southwest Airlines is flying over this village, while Amazon Prime Air is at 10 o'clock in the morning flying right over. I'm standing here in this video. This is all evidence that you can refer to. The entity has the fake sun over me en route to this venue, which is speaking to what the Stater Brothers is doing when they're knocking on the door. That's activity creation when they're trying to break in, because that's what it is, with knowledge of who I am and where I'm at and what I'm doing, including as I'm documenting on my device. And it's a sexually perverted means and a terrorizing and psychologically harmful means of monitoring, at that in a bathroom. It is currently 4:35 p.m. at the Ontario Village Shopping Center. You're looking at the pattern of the light activity, 7TXS124. It's not a caution regarding parking. It's the light activity creation by demons that are monitoring. This is the same village where the Ontario police are at 10 o'clock in the morning. This fake sun is right here over this parking lot, and Ontario police are flying in circles, pacing. That's what this is, pacing under a fake sun. FedEx is going to be federally prosecuted for conspiracy to murder, and it's a federal RICO case. And FedEx is in the specific environment, aware that they're being documented even right now, and still engaging. That's going to be analyzed under the law. I'm going to prosecute them. Right? It is currently 4:37 p.m. This is where the fake sun is at 6 in the morning. Remember, I'm standing over here, and so what's that underneath the structure and all over and on the sidewalk where they're walking on it at 6 o'clock in the morning, where the airport are filled with mentally ill demons who are dipping and diving in planes. There's no airport property over here. There's no airport property in the housing community. And they're engaging in what is this ongoing perpetual hovering, even at the square east of this location, where they're engaged in stalking. This is the P.O.C. This is the entity that is indeed engaged in stalking, and this is the ability to walk through their neighborhoods, get their housing addresses merely for publishing purposes. Because the federal government that is being taught about what the states are doing is one that is going to sit back and watch justice be demanded as the population is prosecuted. They are engaged in the pattern of conduct where they live, as they travel, where they work, where they are engaged in consumerism. This is the entity that's engaging in that pattern of conduct. And you will be subject to that federal prosecution and numerosity. A population is not going to bar justice. In fact, it is the basis whereby you are entitled to justice. Substantial, unprecedented justice based on the unprecedented criminal conduct. A population is keeping the genitalia of one person under surveillance. And then engaging what is kidnapping, harassing, and stalking even more in a desperate manner because it's being documented. That's what fills the Ontario Police Department. It's no police department. They're being disbanded as clearly as you see this fake sun. This is P.O.C. It's currently 4:38 p.m. All right, this is surveillance on behalf of the government. The people of the state are third parties, and they're demon-possessed third parties. This is my shadow appearing upright on her car. These are psychos. They're aiming light toward me as I'm preparing to leave, as the demon-possessed stalkers do. I took pictures of their license plates while I'm standing inside. They're attacking with light. This light behavior, not only is it deranged, it's a threat. And the government is stalking over the El Pollo Loco. This is where the entity had the fake sun. 6:40 a.m. and 4:48 p.m. is what I documented today. This is all stalking with light in the engineered environment. This is my shadow over here. They're stalking, and they're using the drive-through of El Pollo Loco. That's the federal RICO case. Stalking in the path coming out the drive-through, a demon. 8AKL 940. 9JTM 439. Vagina monitoring is underway through the drive-throughs of these venues. Okay? This is P.O.C. This is classic gang stalking at Starbucks. The pattern of conduct is underway. The Ontario Police Department keeping my vagina under surveillance inside of El Pollo Loco. This is a third party. This is a facilitating venue, not private property. And they're stalking in the path, conspiring murder. 6U0U844 9RFR938. All the people of the state maintaining, as I've been here the entire time, the roads and the highways, gang stalking, impossible lights moving. These are demons. These are demons. This is demonic. And the Ontario Police are being disbanded. This is ridiculous criminal conduct. It's even more than that. It's demonic activity. License plate 7MBJ584. That's a federal RICO case. I'm going to prosecute El Pollo Loco. You fill in the blank because every business in California is engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct. It's the P.O.C. And I will prosecute every business with regard to the same exact identical behavioral pattern. I don't have to go to every restaurant. Like, I don't have to document every individual. They're engaged in the pattern of conduct, and I will use El Pollo Loco. I will use McDonald's. I will use Carl's Jr. I will use Starbucks. I will use Stater Brothers. And I will prosecute every single last business that are sharing the criminal pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. This is indeed the P.O.C. A population is engaging in criminal surveillance of one person. That's a person that they intend to murder, and I'm going to prosecute for it. You're not free to engage in this. This is criminal facilitation. License 9THF425, and this is what Eric Spencer is engaging in. Eric Spencer is going to prison, and I'm going to prosecute him, and I'm going to prosecute her. This is P.O.C. This is who Leo is gang stalking me with. Leo's going to prison. Leo is incorrect with regard to the open civic center and is also discriminating based on homeless status. Homelessness that's caused by the gang stalking police departments in California. Leo's going to prison. I'm going to prosecute Securitas, and this is pursuant to monitoring what I'm publishing on the internet right now. And you're seeing an ongoing pattern regarding the Ontario police, who are domestic terrorists and vagina monitors, engaging in criminal activity with the people of the state who are going to federal prison, who I'm documenting in the neighborhoods, putting their license plates on the internet as terrorists should be exposed, and they're engaging in what is monitoring my device, and they still are slow because they don't understand. Every time they do that, I put that on the internet as well, and it is serving for prosecuting them for every defamatory word describing my name and my character on the internet when they committed kidnapping, while Tracy Banks and Eric Spencer and Jason Fields were seeking to defame my character. And then you have little worker demons like Leo, who can't spell security while he's engaged in gang stalking with those gang members. Leo's going to prison. He's going to federal prison, and he is harassing me because the Ontario police are gang stalking. This is P.O.C., and this is while the evidence is being uploaded on the Google Drive. You see this? This is impunity. They're going to be prosecuted. I go in their neighborhoods. I get their license plates. This impunity is going to be played in court, and it's going to apply to the entire population. This is what's going to be used to prosecute them, deport them, remove their children, prosecute them as terrorists. They don't care about engaging it on camera. That's exactly how they're going to be analyzed under the law. Lawless, ongoing maniacal psychopaths, just like the demons in helicopters. That is what Jason Fields represents. This demon that plotted my murder, that's having needles put in my foot at night because these animals that consume human flesh, who are demons, gang stalking me in helicopters, gang stalking me as a system, are consuming my bodily fluids, these psychopaths, he will never come near me. There will never be any association. And if he does, he's going to be embarrassed on the internet for prosecuting, just like Eric Spencer. He's even less irrelevant than my former blood relative, Eric Spencer. There was no way. Jason Fields will never be in my presence. He represents this unlawful threat. He is still gang stalking me while you see the Ontario police flying over. He does so in real time while he's monitoring. He's a psychopath. He's a serial killer, and he's going to prison. There will be no immunity from prison. I don't care what information you give to the feds. You're going to prison. So is Tracy. So is Eric. This is P.O.C. It's currently 10:28 p.m. I would say, are you okay?